Right now, more than 2 billion people are warming up leftovers, and nearly all of them believe the same thing. If the food is hot, it must be safe. That belief is quietly costing lives. Hold on to one figure: 1 in 6. Out of every 6 cancer diagnoses on the planet, researchers now trace one back to what's on our plates, including how we store, reheat, and eat it. Figures reported in CA, a cancer journal for clinicians, rank poor eating patterns as the second leading preventable cause of cancer worldwide, behind only tobacco. And yet, almost no one talks about what happens deep inside certain foods when they meet heat a second time. These reactions make no sound. Your eyes never catch them and your nose never warns you, but they carry on inside your food and then inside you. My name is Dr. Ryan Cole. For more than 15 years, my work has lived at the crossroads of nutritional biochemistry and preventive oncology. Today, I'll walk you through 4 foods you almost certainly reheat, foods likely sitting in your refrigerator this very moment, each one going through documented chemical changes that carry a measurable cancer risk. Stay with me to the end, because the 4th food is the one nearly every health-minded person is convinced is harmless. That conviction is a serious mistake, and let me be clear about what we're discussing. Not a queasy stomach or a passing bout of food poisoning, but the slow stockpiling of cancer-causing compounds across months and years, the kind of hidden damage that stays invisible until it's enormously hard to undo. To prepare this, I read through hundreds of peer-reviewed studies from journals like Food Chemistry, the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry, Carcinogenesis, and The Lancet Oncology. There's no supplement waiting at the end of this for you to buy. I'm here for one reason. Prevention starts with understanding. First, a short lesson in food chemistry. Please don't let your attention drift, because this unlocks everything else. The first time food meets heat, the chemistry is orderly. Proteins loosen, starches soften, fats blend. But reheat food that has already passed through those changes, especially after hours or days in the refrigerator, and a different cast of reactions steps in. 1. Oxidation. Fats and proteins that met oxygen in storage turn fragile, and fresh heat cracks them into lipid peroxides and malondialdehyde, both with a well-recorded talent for damaging DNA. 2. The Maillard reaction gone wrong. Push proteins and sugars through high heat again and again, and they form advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, which fan the flames of chronic inflammation, one of the great engines driving cancer forward. 3. The nitrite shift. Nitrate-rich foods let bacteria convert those nitrates in the refrigerator, and reheating turns them into nitrites, which can then become nitrosamines, compounds the World Health Organization files as probable or confirmed carcinogens. 3 pathways: oxidation, advanced glycation, and nitrosamine formation. You'll see at least one of them in every food we discuss. Food number 1. Cooked rice. No staple feeds as many mouths. Over 3 billion people lean on it for their daily calories, and a huge share reheat yesterday's rice today. The danger has almost nothing to do with reheating, and almost everything to do with the hours the rice spends cooling in the refrigerator. As cooked rice cools, it becomes a nearly perfect nursery for a bacterium called Bacillus cereus, which rides in on raw rice, shrugs off the first cooking, and multiplies quickly. Reheating may kill the bacteria, but it does nothing to the heat-resistant toxins they've already left behind. Those sail straight through the microwave and into your digestive system. The cancer concern is this. Bacillus cereus produces a toxin called cerulide, and in the lab it has been shown to injure the mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your cells, and that failure is counted among the early steps toward a cell becoming cancerous. There's a second worry, too. Reheating starchy foods encourages acrylamide, formed when natural sugars meet the amino acid asparagine under high heat. The International Agency for Research on Cancer lists acrylamide as a Group 2A carcinogen, So cook rice fresh when you can. If you store it, spread it on a shallow tray to cool fast, refrigerate within the hour, eat it within 24 hours, and never reheat it more than once. Food number 2. Cooked chicken. It holds the title of the world's favorite lean protein, and once leftovers land in the refrigerator, nearly everyone reheats them. When animal muscle proteins face high heat a second time, they run through protein oxidation, which leaves behind heterocyclic amines, or HCAs, among the most heavily studied dietary carcinogens in the literature. Once inside you, liver enzymes turn HCAs into intensely reactive fragments that latch directly onto your DNA, sparking mutations. And when those strike tumor suppressor genes, it's one of the fundamental ways cancer takes hold. A landmark paper in Carcinogenesis found that people who regularly ate well-done or reheated poultry showed a statistically meaningful rise in colorectal cancer risk. A separate analysis from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health linked frequent reheated processed chicken to a greater risk of pancreatic cancer, one of the cruelest cancers there is, with only 11% of patients alive 5 years after diagnosis. The third and fourth foods are the ones almost everybody gets wrong. If this kind of practical, evidence-based health information is useful to you, I'd warmly invite you to subscribe. A fresh video goes up every week, built the same way. Peer-reviewed research translated into something you can actually use. No exaggeration, no supplements, no hidden motive. Food number 3. Spinach and the other nitrate-rich leafy greens. Few vegetables earn as much praise. Iron, folate, magnesium, powerful antioxidants, and the experts are completely right, so long as it's eaten fresh or cooked once and finished right away. Spinach, along with celery, beets, lettuce, and Swiss chard, sits among the richest natural sources of dietary nitrates, which in their original form actually support your cardiovascular system and blood pressure. But once cooked spinach goes into the refrigerator, bacteria on the leaves turn those nitrates into nitrites, the identical switch that plays out in cured meats, and one reason the WHO placed processed meat in its Group 1 carcinogen category in 2015. Reheat spinach that's spent a day or more in the fridge, and under heat those nitrites join with amino acids in the spinach and later in your stomach to form nitrosamines, among the most powerful dietary carcinogens science has pinned down, capable of triggering cancer at astonishingly small doses in animal studies, and tied in population research to cancers of the stomach, esophagus, and colon. The European Food Safety Authority has issued formal guidance pointing directly at the risks of reheating nitrate-rich vegetables after storage. The irony is almost painful. One of the healthiest foods on Earth turned into a source of carcinogens by nothing more than a reheating habit. So cook leafy greens fresh, eat leftovers cold within a few hours, and don't reheat them. If you must store them, seal them airtight, eat within 6 hours, and keep them cold. Food number 4. Eggs. I promised the last one would surprise you. Few foods come as close to nutritional completeness. All 9 essential amino acids, choline for the brain, selenium for antioxidant defense, and lutein and zeaxanthin to guard your eyes and cells. But reheating eggs, scrambled or hard-boiled, opens a specific chemical problem few people discuss. An egg is roughly 13% fat, most of it in the yolk. The first cooking takes the yolk's fats through an opening stage of oxidation, normal and expected. But chill that egg and blast it with heat again, and those already oxidized fats race through a second round far faster, producing malondialdehyde and oxysterols. Oxysterols, oxidized cholesterol that forms precisely when cholesterol-rich foods are heated again and again, have drawn heavy scientific interest. A thorough review in Food and Chemical Toxicology concluded they are pro-atherogenic, pro-inflammatory, and most crucially cytotoxic and genotoxic to human cells. Genotoxic means poisonous to your DNA itself, and by definition, genotoxic compounds are treated as possible carcinogens because they can break DNA strands and seed mutations. There's a second concern. Reheating cooked egg proteins, especially in a microwave, drives further denaturation into abnormal crosslinks your gut struggles to break down, and the sulfur-bearing amino acids, cysteine and methionine, can degrade, adding to oxidative stress along the digestive lining, a stress counted among the leading proposed mechanisms behind colorectal cancer, the third most common cancer in the world, claiming close to 1 million lives every year. So eat eggs fresh, keep hard-boiled eggs in their shells and eat them cold. Never microwave scrambled eggs, and if you must warm an egg dish, use gentle indirect heat and never exceed 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me be candid. When I first worked through this research, my feeling wasn't fear, it was frustration. None of this is a secret. It sits in peer-reviewed journals and in official guidance from the EFSA, the WHO, and public health agencies worldwide. Yet it almost never reaches the kitchen table. Billions make choices about reheating food every day, not out of carelessness, but because no one ever handed them this knowledge. There are grandchildren carrying reheated rice, spinach, and eggs in school lunches 5 days a week. There are older adults living alone, immune systems softened by age, reheating leftover chicken because cooking for one feels like too much. None of them are doing anything wrong. They just don't know. Now you do. And that's the whole reason this channel exists. So let's pull it together. 4 foods, 4 mechanisms, 1 conclusion. Food matters. Rice, heat-stable bacillus, serious toxins plus acrylamide formation, linked to mitochondrial dysfunction, and a group 2A carcinogen. Chicken, heterocyclic amines through protein oxidation, binding directly to DNA and raising colorectal and pancreatic cancer risk. Spinach, the march from nitrate to nitrite to nitrosamine, tied to stomach, esophageal, and colorectal cancers. Eggs, oxysterols and secondary lipid oxidation, with documented genotoxic power and a raised risk of colorectal cancer. 3 core mechanisms keep resurfacing: nitrosamine formation, the oxidation of fats and proteins, and the activation of bacterial toxins. This isn't fear-mongering, it's food biochemistry, investigated again and again in the literature. Now, what to do? Cook rice fresh. If you store it, cool it within the hour. Refrigerate right away, eat it within 24 hours, and never reheat it twice. Enjoy leftover chicken cold in a salad or wrap. If you must reheat, keep the temperature as low as possible. Don't reheat cooked spinach, Swiss chard, beet greens, or celery. Eat them cold or make them fresh and store no longer than 6 hours. Cook eggs fresh. Keep hard-boiled ones unpeeled and cold, and never microwave scrambled eggs. Buy a food thermometer. Gentle warming below 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74.4 Celsius sharply cuts these compounds. Never reheat any food more than once. 1 cooking, 1 reheating. Then let it go. Lean on a low oven over a microwave for protein-rich foods, since microwaves create uneven hotspots that speed oxidation. And plan your portions so you generate fewer leftovers in the first place. Of every habit here, that one may do you the most good. Before I let you go, I want your answer to one question. Of these 4 foods, which caught you most off guard? The rice, the chicken, the spinach, or the eggs? Tell me in the comments, and if there's a food you'd like me to dig into next, drop it there too. I rate every one. And picture someone in your life who reheats leftovers without a second thought. A spouse, a brother or sister, a grandchild living on meal-prepped chicken and rice. They don't yet know what you now know, and you can change that in under 10 seconds by sharing this video. Not to scare them, only to hand them the same knowledge because they deserve to make informed choices about their health just as much as you do. As always, one point of clarity. Everything here is for education and information only, not personal medical advice, a diagnosis, or a treatment recommendation. The evidence reflects peer-reviewed literature available when this video was made, and food science moves quickly, so recommendations may shift. Please speak with your own physician, a registered dietitian, or another qualified health professional before making major changes to your diet, especially if you already live with a medical condition. This channel has one mission: to turn complex research into clear, practical, evidence-based information. Not to replace your doctor or stir up fear, but to make sure the same evidence that reaches researchers reaches you too. Thank you for watching. I'm Dr. Ryan Cole.